Concern growing over the well-being of a Virginia Beach mother and her children who seem to have vanished.
We just want those babies found, and we want her found.
We're learning more about the last time the family vehicle was seen, and the mystery captures the nation's attention.
Imagine ordering a package online. It says delivered, but then it never shows up. Well, that's been a problem for some people here in Ghent. Up next.
We stick together, can say it through, 'cause you got a friend in me.
53 million views and counting in less than 24 hours. A 4-year-old's duet with her father that will give you goosebumps.
Live at 5, this is 13 News Now.
You wonder if your child is truly in a bad place right now.
Heartbreak, frustration, confusion. The family of a missing Virginia Beach mother and her children are at a loss tonight.
And no one has heard from 29-year-old Monica Lamping since Saturday. Her home destroyed by a fire just hours later. It seems since then the three have vanished without a trace.
Ernie LeBeau is live outside the house where investigators are back on the scene digging for clues. Ernie, what's the very latest from there?
Well, David, Virginia Beach Police and the fire department actually left about an hour or so ago, but they've been out here throughout the day just looking for any type of clues to why this home caught on fire, where this family is, and why they just mysteriously disappeared. Virginia Beach Police spent Tuesday back at the home of 29-year-old Monica Lamping. Monica and her 2 kids, her 7-year-old son and 9-month-old daughter, are still missing. Monday, police missing persons unit started investigating their mysterious disappearance. Their family last heard from them over the weekend.
Virginia Beach Police are doing everything they can. I know that. I know they're doing everything they can. I know they're out there working hard to help us and to find those 2 kids.
Search and rescue dogs searched the perimeter and the backyard of the house, while investigators searched the inside of the home as well as the bedroom where the fire was said to have started. Here's what Monica's ex-husband told 13 News Now about the fire.
From what I was told, the space heater was next to what they think was a blanket on the bed, which was next to a bookshelf that caught fire.
I asked the fire department if they'd be looking further into the fire that happened at the home on Sunday morning, mainly because there's a missing persons case now launched. Here's what I was told. Our investigators from the fire marshal's office stated they believe the fire started from a space heater, but the investigation is continuing and we have not confirmed the cause yet. And coming up at 6, we'll hear more from Kevin Lamping, Monica Lamping's ex-husband, and where he says the last place police told him they saw Monica's car. Reporting live in Virginia Beach, I'm Ernie LeBeau, 13 News Now.
All right, take a look one more time. This is Monica's green Jeep that was last seen Sunday morning going into the downtown tunnel. It has Virginia tags. They read right there on your screen, XPU 6357. Give police a call immediately if you have seen the vehicle, Monica, or her children.
In Norfolk, it's now been 20 days since another mother went missing. Rashonda Gerald has not been seen since January 4th. Her father tells us there have been no tips and no leads that might help police. She's 32 and she has 3 children. She was last seen walking near Olney Road in Lincoln Street. She has tattoos on her neck and chest. Please call police if you have any information.
More trouble for State Delegate Rick Morris. A grand jury has indicted him, of course, on charges of child cruelty and assault and battery of a family member. Well, Morris has maintained his innocence and has continued serving in the General Assembly. Mike Gooding has reaction.
Delegate Rick Morris is accused of assaulting 2 of his family members at the family's home in Suffolk. The lawmaker has maintained his innocence.
The truth's going to come out, not these lies and distortions and more lies.
The charges stem from an alleged assault in September. Morris was arrested and released from the Western Tidewater Regional Jail on a $1,500 bond on the initial charges. After further investigation, officers arrested Morris again last Thursday. The grand jury indicted him on 1 count of child cruelty. It added a 2nd count to the indictment Monday, as well as 2 counts of assault and battery of a family member.
And it gets national attention. This is something that the state doesn't want.
Morris continued to serve in the General Assembly. He is, of course, considered innocent until proven guilty in court. ODU political science assistant professor Ben Molesky says the state Senate and House of Delegates set their own rules on expulsion of members, and the last time it happened was the late 1800s.
You know, there's nothing that really says that he has to resign. I mean, there really aren't clear rules about what happens.
Christopher Newport political science professor Quentin Kidd says fellow legislators and citizens need to let the legal process play out before worrying about the political fallout.
I don't expect the General Assembly to do anything right now. I expect the General Assembly to let this play out and then decide what to do if, in fact, he's convicted.
Following the grand jury's indictment of Morris, a review date of February 22nd was scheduled in Suffolk Circuit Court. Mike Gooding, 13 News Now.
Also at the Capitol, the House of Delegates has given the go-ahead to a bill allowing retired police officers to carry guns while working as school security guards. A similar bill last year did not get the governor's signature. Republicans have added new provisions on training the guards. House Democrats voted against it, saying it will lead to exceptions about who can carry guns in schools.
The so-called Tebow bill could be approved by lawmakers today. The House of Delegates gave tentative approval yesterday. The bill would allow homeschooled students to participate in high school sports. A fee would cover the cost of participation. Right now, the Virginia High School League rules prohibit homeschoolers from taking part in sports after 8th grade. In North Carolina, sex offenders are fighting laws they say deprive them of constitutional rights. A Raleigh-based nonprofit and 2 anonymous sex offenders sued the state Monday, saying it's unconstitutional to ban them from churches, colleges, and the legislature's building because the laws do nothing to increase protections of children. The suit is part of an effort to cut back on sex registry laws, which now require more than 800,000 convicts nationwide to register.
Developing now, mail is vanishing from porches in Ghent. In some cases, residents say the mail isn't even being delivered. That's despite emails and confirmation texts saying otherwise. 13 News Now reporter Jacqueline Lee went looking for answers.
With the click of a button, we can order anything online with it conveniently delivered right to our door. But for some residents of the Ghent neighborhood in Norfolk, the delivery part isn't always happening.
Caroline Langdon was anxiously waiting for a gift to arrive at her doorstep. Like so many of us, she checked its status online. The post office said it had arrived, but nothing ever came.
It's frustrating that, you call up for customer service and they're very cavalier about it. They say, well, the package really wasn't worth all that much. That's not the point.
The first delivery hiccup happened in October when her online tracking said no one was home to accept the delivery.
I was certain I was home on that day. I knew no attempt had been made. Just to check, I reviewed security footage and realized that no one had come.
She said after her complaint was filed, the package appeared the next day. But this wasn't the end of her problems.
The next month it happened again with another package. This time the package never appeared.
And it's not just happening to Langdon. Using an app that connects neighbors, Ghent residents realized multiple packages were never delivered despite being told otherwise by the Postal Service. I had the same happen in my apartment building. Good to know I'm not the only one.
Well, it makes me feel like I've been ripped off. We know that the packages have not been stolen. They've simply never been delivered.
We reached out to the U.S. Postal Service 3 times for comment on this specific case and are currently waiting to hear back. However, in the meantime, they said if this happens to you, you should call your local post office. In Norfolk, I'm Jacqueline Lee, 13 News Now.
Only on 13 News Now, a huge solar farm could be making its way to Gloucester County, but people who live near the proposed project site are not happy about it. Nico Clemens talks with concerned residents.
I'm extremely upset.
For many, change is always welcome, but for some like David Weller, not in his backyard, or in this case, not across the street from his home.
There went the neighborhood, and there goes my resale value for my home.
Weller is speaking out after an application was submitted to Gloucester County's Planning and Zoning Department to build a solar energy facility in the county. The 200-acre site for a utility-scale solar facility estimated to generate enough power to support 5,000 homes. Weller lives right across the street from the proposed site. His concerns are several, including location.
Ask your spouse or friend whether they would invest $400,000 of their money to buy a property directly across from a solar power plant. And I think the answer will be no.
Sean McNash with Planning and Zoning says they are getting questions from residents about the impact it could have to the area.
We've had questions on, similar to what you asked, what the applicant is doing in order to offset that visual impact. So what the applicant is doing is that he is proposing screening, landscaping to screen the property.
It's still early, but Weller plans to make his voice heard until the very end.
I would like to see smaller projects done throughout the county where it's not so intrusive to the landowners.
And coming up at 6, I'll give you a timeline on when this all could happen and more on what needs to happen to allow a solar facility on the property. In Gloucester, Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.
Kroger is hiring 10,000 employees across its different chains. More than 70 positions are in Hampton Roads. The supermarket giant already employs nearly 500,000 nationwide. Its active workforce grew by more than 12,000 employees in 2016. However, the hiring comes as the company announced it would cut costs by offering early retirement to nearly 2,000 workers. That move was targeted towards management positions.
It's been another busy day for Donald Trump. His take on alleged voter fraud, U.S. automakers, and how Tom Brady is defending the pair's newly publicized friendship.
And a dramatic rescue, a horse trapped in a trench, how the animal fell in the ditch, and what it took for crews to save it.
Sunshine finally making a return appearance, and it's going to get even warmer. Temperatures up into the 60s. I'll let you know when, how long that lasts, and if we see any rain with that front.
Here at 13 News Now, we focus on the stories of now.
Because we know stories touch the soul, the types of stories coming out of Hampton Roads every day.
Not only do powerful stories engage our hearts and our minds,
they help you to navigate your day-to-day life.
13 News Now is right beside you.
Telling the stories of now.
22 years in the service taught me compassion, dedication, and teamwork. I applied the same attitude at Bud's. I believe in giving my best shot solving plumbing issues.
I am Joe Markham, plumber, and I am Bud's.
Sign and Drive is on at Casey Chevrolet. That means no money down, no first month payment, no security deposit. Choose from a 2017 Cruze LS for $239 a month or a 2017 Malibu LS for $299 a month. Just sign and drive your new Chevy today. Find new roads in a Chevy from Casey Chevrolet on the corner of J. Clyde Morris and Jefferson Avenue in the heart of Newport News. Stop by today or check us out online at CaseyChevy.com. Casey, the only name you need to know for Chevy.
Want a quick and easy way to save money this winter? Take the free online Energy Smart Audit at VirginiaNaturalGas.com. It only takes a couple of minutes and will show you where your home is wasting energy and, more importantly, money. Plus, when you complete the energy audit, you'll receive a free home weatherization kit. So take the Energy Smart Audit at VirginiaNaturalGas.com. Save energy, save money. Energy Smart from Virginia Natural Gas.
Hi, I'm Joel Bieber.
Who'd you expect? Joel Bieber?
Joel Bieber. Hi, I'm Joel Bieber. We'll work hard for you. We offer free consultation 24 hours a day. Give us a call. For over 20 years, I've been saying we come to you, and we still come to you. Call the Joel Bieber firm or go to joelbieber.com.
When you're hurt, we'll come to you. Call Joel Bieber.
This is a gorgeous car.
Chevy is getting a lot of attention at the auto show.
Check this out. This is sweet.
Beautiful truck.
I really like this.
Very cool.
I like the leather seats. Wow. Woo! I love this car.
Open the gate.
This is incredible.
Use your auto show bonus cash to get $500 total cash allowance on this Chevy Camaro. Plus, find your tag to get an additional $1,000 cash allowance on select Chevy vehicles. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
As a new dad, my son is my pride and joy. I'll do anything to keep my family happy. The same applies at work. I'm committed to ensure that our customer satisfaction is my priority. Hi, I'm Chandler Nelson, Comfort Advisor, and I am Bud's.
If you can't, we can. Michael and Son.
come away with Colette.
And experience the magic of Ireland.
Watch Wheel all this week for your chance to win a trip to the Emerald Isle.
Weeknights at 7.
President Trump has vowed to have a busy first 100 days in office. Today, White House spokesman Sean Spicer is doubling down on the president's repeatedly debunked claim that millions of illegal immigrants voted and cost him the popular vote.
He says this detracted from the very election he won and distracted from the public policy actions that the new White House hopes to take. Here's Lana Zak.
The question of false claims continued to plague the new administration. White House spokesman Sean Spicer maintained the president's belief in a repeatedly debunked claim that millions of illegal immigrants cost the president the popular vote.
The president does believe that. He has stated that before. I think he stated his concerns, voter fraud and people voting illegally during the campaign. And he continues to maintain that belief based on studies and evidence that people have presented to him.
But in follow-up questions, Spicer would not provide any concrete evidence besides a 2008 study that looked at voter registration. The study's author said it found no voter fraud. The Republican and Democratic secretaries of states have all disputed those claims of voter fraud, and even elected Republicans have distanced themselves.
I've seen no evidence to that effect, and I've made that very, very clear.
The White House is still struggling with questions of facts and honesty. In the Senate today, Mick Mulvaney, President Trump's pick for budget director, was asked about inauguration crowd size.
It does appear that the crowd on the left-hand side is bigger than the crowd on the right-hand side.
One Democratic senator said he wanted to make sure Mulvaney will embrace facts if confirmed.
This is an example of where the president's team, on something very simple and straightforward, wants to embrace a fantasy rather than a reality.
Meanwhile, in Supreme Court news, sources tell ABC that Neil Gorsuch, an appeals court judge just 49 years old, is the leading contender to fill Scalia's vacant seat.
We have outstanding candidates, and we will pick a truly great Supreme Court justice.
The president also hosted auto industry leaders and moved forward with the Keystone and Dakota pipelines. But all of those policy issues today are really being overshadowed as people are debating the merits of our democracy and trust in the words of our public officials. Lana Zak, ABC News, Washington.
As for that meeting with the CEOs of a number of automakers, President Trump detailed his plans to keep manufacturers from moving production lines out of the U.S. Beside keeping jobs in America, Mr. Trump promised to reduce taxes and unnecessary regulations, his words, on automakers.
We're going to make the process much more simple for the auto companies and for everybody else that wants to do business in the United States. I think you're going to find us to be from very inhospitable to extremely hospitable. I think we'll go down as one of the most friendly countries, and right now it's not.
A lot of talk on social media about Patriots quarterback Tom Brady and his friendship with the president. The night before his inauguration, Trump mentioned in a speech that Brady had called to congratulate him. When asked about it, Brady told a radio station Monday, "Sometimes he calls me, sometimes I call him." Brady says Trump is someone he's known for 16 years, and he doesn't see why their relationship is such a big deal, adding, "If you know someone, it doesn't mean you agree with everything they say or do."
We're learning Richmond police seized stolen construction material ahead of the anti-Donald Trump march on the night of his inauguration. Authorities believe the tools were to be used to block a highway. Reports from the capital city say police officers observed a group of people at a vacant, overgrown lot conducting demonstration training in preparation for their march. The lot is parallel to Interstate 64 and 95, a section which protesters had twice before blocked.
And now your 13 News Now weather forecast, certified most accurate in Hampton Roads.
Talked about the clouds beginning to break up, and Evan a little while ago showed the view looking east, and you could see some breaks. Here's the same view looking west, and you can see not many clouds out there. So we're definitely seeing that clearing moving in from the west. I had talked about that during the day yesterday, and of course we had a little bit of mist and drizzle around early this morning. That's long gone. So continued clearing this evening. I'm going to call it chilly, also fairly breezy as readings drop through the upper 40s. Right now, though, we're at 53, at least officially on the south side. Winds out of the northwest at 6. And look at the big spread between the temperature and the dew point. That means it is relatively comfortable in terms of the humidity level. And temperatures, again, it's a little bit chilly, but not too far from where well, a little above actually, but still not far from where we should be this time of year. Readings, as you can see, generally lower 50s here, some mid 50s, especially once you get back inland. That's across south side. Very similar readings here across the peninsula, back on the other side of the James River. Then you get up a little bit to some chillier readings once you get around the northern neck, middle peninsula, especially near the water, eastern shore. A lot more 40s beginning to show up there. And then North Carolina, as usual this time of year, we're looking at slightly warmer conditions with a lot more of the mid 50s, but still not a big difference. Today we've had, again, right on the borderline, the jet stream overs. That separates the mild air or warm air from the colder or chillier conditions. So it's been taking this dip right about over us. Down to the south, it's been relatively mild. That jet stream shifts and by Wednesday moves up across our area. So as a result, we're going to get into the mild air around here during the day tomorrow. But then the jet stream begins to dip back down to the south and puts us in the chilly to even cold conditions toward the end of the week and into the weekend. Right now, big difference from yesterday, considerably cooler to the south, considerably warmer north and west. Yesterday we had a pretty big spread. Today it's much more even, and you can see just where that front was located yesterday, exactly 24 hours ago. Forecast then for tonight, as I mentioned, drops us back through the 40s this evening, and by late tonight, maybe a couple of upper 30s in some of the very rural spots. So it'll start off certainly chilly. Some would call it cold, especially when you factor in the breeze. But look what happens out to the west, that warm front, and see the wind starting to shift out ahead of it. As a result, tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be up at least to 60, and we think even a little bit higher than that. And then the broader view shows that cold front to our west actually moving in. Same one that warms us up tomorrow begins to cool us down a little bit later in the week. Not so much Thursday because it passes through, doesn't have a ton of time to usher in any colder air during the afternoon Thursday, but by Thursday night, Friday, you'll start to see a difference. So expect a little bit of rain at times during the day Thursday. Here's that system slowly spinning around and moving offshore. Tonight, 42, continued clearing, breezy and quite chilly. Some upper 30s inland. Tomorrow, 63 and then still 64, even though the front goes through on Thursday. 40% chance of some isolated to scattered showers. Then you'll notice the difference in temperatures by Friday at 53, Saturday, Sunday, checking in right about where we should be. Seasonably chilly, upper 40s.
All right, thank you. Smartphone apps to monitor your baby. They may bring peace of mind to new parents, but are they really healthy for your child? The answer, new at 5:30.
But first, a father-daughter duet that's sure to put a smile on your face. You got to hear it for yourself after the break.
Are your tires too thin to pass inspection, but your cash is thin too? At R&R Tires and Wheels, drive away with a new set of tires, any size, any brand, for just $20 down. Mount balance and stems are free. And everybody gets credit at R&R Tires and Wheels. Best value by a mile.
The blizzard of 2017 didn't just freeze the roads, it froze car sales, and we are way behind for January. To dig out, we're having a huge priority snow sale. Our managers have a blank check to do whatever it takes to catch up. That means huge savings on every priority new and used car and truck. Interest rates as low as 0%. Save thousands and maximum value for your trade. Save big now during the big snow sale at all priority dealerships.
You can have it all.
What does a steak lover eat when they're not eating steak? How about this? Or this? Or this? Okay, that last one was steak, but how could they not? You can't fake steak. Longhorn Steakhouse. Tonight's special Longhorn favorites. Get our outlaw ribeye, the Longhorn salmon, or the Parmesan crusted chicken. And for lunch, try our steakhouse burger or any steakhouse lunch combo only at Longhorn.
Are you still waiting to change your bathtub? Bathfitter can give you a new tub in as little as 1 day with their unique tub-over-tub process. Isn't that amazing? Bathfitter will measure and make you a new custom bathtub that they install right over your existing one. Plus, only Bathfitter has seamless walls, which guarantee a watertight fit. And a lifetime warranty. That's what got me. A new bathtub changes your life, and it's never been more affordable.
This month only, 0% APR financing for 24 months. How do you keep track of everything and make it work? Will, trust, long-term care, Medicare, investments, taxes, real estate. Why you use a Hook? More than 30 years of legal and financial planning for seniors. The Hook Law Center.